All right. Hey everyone. Glad to see you all here. And we've got a short video today, just acting more as a showcase rather than a lesson. So I hope you had a lot of fun creating your own unique designs. And now it's time to show you what I've cooked up and what nodes I really use to achieve the effect. So, as a little bit of a reveal, this is the crate. I said crate. This is the crate that I have created for you all. So it's not that surprising because you did get a sneak peek of this in the introductory video, so sorry to ruin the surprise. But I created this and I didn't touch the UVs at all or used any nodes that we haven't talked about or seen yet. It's just the same mesh and only 4 different materials that I've used. And even though we've only looked at a handful of nodes, I think by looking at this, I find it pretty amazing of what you can create with just a small toolkit. And it's all thanks to the power of your own creativity and imagination. Now, before I start going through these 4 materials, you may have noticed that there are a little bit of inconsistencies. One of the bigger ones is that the wall planks over here, the scaling of both of them, when applied to different meshes, they're not all the same or all the same size really. It's also possible that if you choose to copy some of the textures that I have over here, the direction might not be the same. So you might have some planks facing upwards, up and down, but others moving left to right. And that's totally fine. Maybe even in the bottom one, if you prefer that it ran the other way, that's possible. All these are little personal results, but these are small things that can be tweaked based on changing the transformations of our UV islands. But for now, I just wanted to focus on looks and design, and we could touch a little bit about all these tweaks in the last lesson. So, starting with probably the prettiest one, or the one I'm most proud of, is the walls or the wooden textures. And the big idea around that is that I used a brick texture node paired up with my UVs to get the bricks to give almost like a wooden floor texture on all the designs. Really just played around with the offset and squash until I found something a little random or interesting to look at. And the colors that I used, so I used the lighter brown color, here's the hex code, darker brown color with this hex code. And to get these colors, I honestly just searched it up in Google about some brown hex code values and chose ones that I liked. But I think what really gives it the effect of what a wood flooring will look like is that my mortar size has been set to 0, so no mortar at all. And the width of the brick width has been increased a little bit so I can get a little bit of longer planks as well, and the height hasn't been changed as much. Right? So it really looks like a wood flooring or wooden planks, which was the effect that I was going for. You might also have noticed that if I around the side, it's pretty hard to see. It's actually a little bit more visible on this side, but we have a lot of the smudging effect. And I created that effect using the noise texture, which I've showcased a little bit in the last lesson, specifically by playing around with the scale and some of the other values. I could set this to roughness to emulate fingerprints or a rougher material, just to give the illusion that this crate is not a brand new one. It's been handled for quite a bit of time. Okay, and of course I didn't want to set any large distortions or anything like that because fingerprints are not something that is completely swirly, but a little bit of swirl is pretty interesting. So yeah, just a personal take. And that's just really the wooden walls. The rest of the materials are a lot simpler than that and uses pretty much the same principles. So if I look at the walls, for instance, not the walls, the pillars that I have, or edges, I use the same noise texture node for the smudging effect, but instead, I just have a solid color over here. So I have this darker brown color, no metallic values or anything like that. So just a pretty simple rubberish pillar that's brown with a little bit of smudging. The vents and the screws are quite similar. So here's the noise texture as well. for the smudging, so that's going to emulate a little bit of rust as well. But the only difference is that screws and these vents are fully metallic. So I bumped the metallic value all the way up and then chose a grayish color with this hex value. All right, so that's been applied to all the screws, all the I keep saying walls, all the vents. And lastly, we have the corners and the centerpiece, which used a material that I called rubber. So everything is exactly the same. I used a darker gray color for this, and rubber's not metallic, so I bumped the metallic all the way down. So yeah, besides the wooden planks, the rest are honestly very, very similar to each other. It's just playing around with the metallic and the color that I chose. So yes, all in all, 4 materials, very, very simple, but still a beautiful result. And I'm super stoked to see what designs you have created. And luckily enough for me, there's only one more lesson that is separating us from seeing each other's result. So, with that said, I hope to see you and your wonderful looking crate in the next lesson, where we are going to be doing some last minute tweaking and really prepare our model to be shared. So, see you then.